but we got a fun Music Monday story to start. And, you did give a speech at my wedding, and you did an excellent job. And but I didn't know just how pathetic you truly were. Like you kind of foreshadowed, because guys, Anthony ended his speech with Kanye 2020, which we all thought was weird. At the time, we didn't know what he was talking about. We're like, why did he say that? Is he serious?
Oh, man. Yeah. I had the inside scoop months ago.
Yeah, the inside scoop. He knew. He was like, Kanye's going to run. So I was like, this is weird to bring up at a wedding. And then, I voted Bernie. I don't know. He didn't actually say that. But Kanye West is allegedly running for president. That happened over the weekend. So before we jump into what happened, if you had to pick a musician combo, and I know other people have tweeted this before, but if you had to like legit pick a music combo to run for president, who would you pick?
Oh man, well, Springsteen's got to be on the ticket, obviously.
Springsteen, all right.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who would be his best VP though. That's a tough one.
I was a Killer Mike Kim Gordon guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Either way, it can be Kim for president, Mike for VP, or Mike president, Kim VP, whichever.
Right,
I don't care.
Let's do Killer Mike and Springsteen then.
Killer Mike and Springsteen. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So I think, I actually think Little Steven would make an excellent president.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would vote for Little Steven over Springsteen, just because. And it's not because I like one's politics better than the other. I think they're pretty much, the same. But I would go Little Steven because pretty much everything that dude has done, he's done a pretty good job at. He had his Netflix series. He has a record label.
Underground Garage. Yeah.
The Underground Garage is my favorite. It's the only thing I miss about SiriusXM. I don't have SiriusXM anymore because it was a gift. It was a gift to me from the record label I work with. And when my receiver broke, I just felt bad being like, send me another one. I mean, it's not like I'm on some small comedy label run by one dude who I know personally. So I wasn't going to be like, Ross, send me another one of these things. I'm entitled to this. I was like, dude, I enjoyed it for like 2.5 years. I appreciate it. Thank you. It was a great gift, but
nice.
But yeah, I do miss Underground Garage. That's a fantastic station. But yeah, I just feel like he's the kind of guy who would, and clearly he is most concerned about the well-being of humans. Because look, this is a guy in his own band. He tours with like a 25-piece soul band or whatever the hell it is, and he's playing rock clubs. He's not concerned about the bottom line. He just wants to take care of his band and give people a really great show. So I think he'd be like, all right, we got to do a Green New Deal. And like some people be like, are you worried about the cost? And he'd be like, no, I'm not. First of all, no, I'm not. Second of all, it's more efficient and it's what we need to do. And, it's way more cost efficient than what we're doing now because Drill Baby Drill isn't a sustainable plan for our planet. It's not. But second of all, I don't give a shit. We have to do it. So we're just going to do it. I don't really care. And they'd be like, what about the deficit? And he'd be like, still don't care. I think actually he would just sit in his suite with like a guitar at his side. And whenever somebody just brought up something he didn't give a shit about, he would just hit a chord really loud. That's what he would do. And I'd be for it. And you know what? You'll like this because you're the biggest Prince fan I know. I think Prince would make an excellent president.
Yeah.
Prince would, because I you know a lot more about Prince than me, but I have a couple theories about Prince that I don't think anyone can disprove. And we'll never know for sure because he's no longer with us. But I think that did have the ability to fly. No one can disprove that. I mean, you don't know he couldn't, and I just think, I think he could fly. So I think I think he would just kind of fly around and solve our problems. He was definitely light. He was small enough to be aerodynamic.
Small dude,
just flying around, just being like, all right, let's figure this out. We're in this together. Who wouldn't listen to it? Like, all right, Prince, you're right. Yeah, let's just get along.
Yeah,
let's just. But unfortunately, Kanye might run, And so here's what I did. I jokingly tweeted this out. Here's why I really wanted to bring this up. Other than it's just like, it's Music Monday. How could you not? I jokingly tweeted this. Who would blame Kanye for splitting the vote first?
Oh, man.
And now a couple people made this prediction and they ended up being right, because here's what happened. Now, I was 90% joking when I posted, because I'm like, no one's actually taking this seriously. But I spoke too soon, because Deborah Messing, he's playing Jill Stein. He's trying to take UG black votes from Biden. No, I think she means to say young here. I'm pretty sure that's what she means. She's trying to take UG black votes from Biden. It's disgusting. That's what Deborah Messing. Now, so other people pointed this out. Kind of racist to just be like, first of all, Joe Biden is entitled to your vote, and if you're black, Joe Biden is just entitled to your vote. Joe Biden is just owed your vote.
Going all the way back to the Charlemagne interview. Yeah.
He's entitled to that vote, and also, of course, young black voters would just flock to Kanye. That's who would just flock to Kanye. It's not, there is photographic evidence of Kanye wearing a Confederate flag. There's that photograph out there where Kanye West is wearing a Confederate flag. So yeah, it's pretty ignorant to just assume like, oh yeah, young black voters, they're just going to flock to them. And that's who's going to vote for Kanye West. Kanye West, by the way, Trumper himself. Kanye West is a Trumper himself by his own admission. He's a Trump guy. So she tweeted this, and now I love he's playing Jill Stein, which now here's where this goes. Nobody else, no other party is entitled or able to run for president. These are private elections. We have our duopoly, and nobody else has the right to run for president. No one else has the right to run for president. 4 years ago, it was Hillary's turn. How dare Bernie? Now it's Joe Biden's turn. No one else has. And if you are running, you just want to take votes away from my anointed king. That's and now the outrage is over Kanye West.
Unbelievable. Is she saying that he's playing the role of Jill Stein, as in Jill Stein 4 years ago, or?
Yeah, I think that's what she's saying. And in her mind, Jill Stein was not a person running for president, a candidate for president who was representing a political party. In her mind, Jill Stein was just somebody interrupting her anointed one. How dare Jill Stein have it? People still, it's unbelievable to me. And look, my big thing, I don't tell people who they do and don't, who they should and shouldn't vote for. That's not my place. I tell people, you got to do you. And, if you want a show that's going to wag their finger at you and yell at you who to vote for, there's plenty of other shows that do that. There's plenty of other shows where they're gonna yell blue no matter who at you until they're blue in the face. No pun intended. Go watch those shows. Like plenty of other places do that. I don't do that here. I know my gripe is with the system, not with the voters who have to deal with it. So I'm not, and I've gotten emails where people are like, should I vote for Joe? I'm like, you got to do you. All right. I'm not, whether you decide to vote for Joe Biden or not, I'm not going to wag my finger at you. But if you want true systemic change and you don't understand why something like the Green Party is necessary, then either you're not fully aware of what's going on in our political system, or you don't actually want true systemic change. I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, I'm not saying that means you have to agree with everything the Green Party does. I'm not saying that means you have to vote for them or not vote for them. But I am saying if you don't understand why you need outside factors in our electoral system to kind of push the conversation in a further direction that's not permissible by the two-party duopoly. I mean, the reason a Green New Deal is really in our conversation, it was the Green Party that really pushed that really steered that conversation. The reason ranked choice voting is in our conversation. is largely because of the Green Party, because Republicans and Democrats, they're both opposed to that. Why? Because ranked choice voting threatens their stranglehold on our politics. That threatens their gravy train.
It directly competes with, winner take all structure.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't like that, because with the system being the way it is right now, you can just have this, hey, I'm less shittier than this person. Like,
that's kind of everybody's slogan, right?
Yeah. That's everybody's slogan. And that's the way. The only reason the Democrats are able to be as ineffective as they are is because of how just insanely awful the Republicans are. The reason the Republicans are able to be as awful as they are is because of how ineffective the Democrats are. They thrive off of each other. That's bipartisanship, baby. That is bipartisanship. That's how they exist. They're just able to be like, hey, we're not going to do anything about healthcare. These guys are going to make it even worse. So I guess you're stuck with us. But Republicans are able to spin it, and they're able to be like, well, hey, they're not doing anything about healthcare, so why don't you give our snake oil a chance? And the duopoly continues.
Yeah.
And that's what they like. And so here's another tweet in regards to this. So Mehdi Hassan tweeted this. Now he's referring to Jill Stein here. I interviewed her in 2016. She refused to say Chomsky style that in a swing state, people should vote for Clinton over Trump. And she refused to concede that Trump was worse for the climate and environment than Clinton. Then there's the whole recount money thing. Now, okay, so first of all, this guy misrepresented what Chomsky actually said. And, oh, wait, I'm not showing it. All right, sorry about that.
No worries.
I meant to be showing that to you and the viewers. Okay, so here's what Mehdi Hassan tweeted. I interviewed her referring to Jill Stein in 2016. She refused to say Chomsky style that in a swing state, people should vote for Clinton over Trump. And she refused to concede that Trump was worse for climate and the environment than Clinton. Okay, first of all, he's actually misrepresenting what Noam Chomsky said in 2016. You can find the video out there. Chomsky did say that if you lived in a swing state, you should vote against Trump. Now, whether or not you agree with that, that's a conversation we could have all day. I have no desire to rehash a bunch of stuff in 2016. But if you're going to call out Chomsky one way or another, you should at least represent what the dude actually said, which Mehdi fails to do in this tweet. He's misrepresenting what Chomsky actually said. Also, you're mad at a candidate for not campaigning for her opponent. Do you not see how backwards that is? And I've seen, and again, this argument is not unique. This argument has been made constantly for 4 years. And here we are months away from the next election. We are months away from the next election. And they're still rehashing 2016. They're still blaming Jill Stein, which, by the way, most of the people who voted for Jill Stein, if Jill Stein wasn't on the ballot, you know what they would have done? Not vote for Hillary. They would have stayed home. They would have stayed the F home. That's what they would have done. So, and by the way, Gary Johnson got more votes than Jill Stein. The only way a third party made a measurable dent is if you count all of that. If you assume that Gary Johnson's votes would have went to Hillary, which they wouldn't have. Most people that voted for Gary Johnson, if they wouldn't have voted for Gary Johnson, they also either would have stayed home or they would have voted for Trump in most cases. And second of all, how insanely entitled is it to just say that you're entitled to someone else's? I mean, that's so ridiculous. How can you get mad at a candidate for not campaigning for their opponent? And guess what? If you want more of those types of conversations to happen, where somebody like a Jill Stein is going to make the judgment call about like, okay, that, you know, out of the other candidates, this person, you'd be better off with this person than this person. Guess what? Support ranked choice voting, because then we could have more of those conversations. Then the Green Party candidate could say things like, I should be your first choice, and here's why. And I think your second choice should be so-and-so, and here's why. And similarly, the Democrat could do the same thing. I think I should be your first choice. Here's why I should be your first choice. I think your second choice should be the Green or whoever else. You know, you want to have those conversations, support ranked choice voting. And in the meantime, let's not, why don't we at least entertain the fantasy that we actually have free and open elections where a candidate is campaigning for themselves and not their freaking opponent. Let's entertain that fantasy.
God.
It's just amazing that, and the reason this was all spurred by Kanye West. Kanye West. First of all, in a lot of states, he can't even get on the ballot at this point. Kanye West making this random tweet that he's going to run for president. I don't think he's actually going to do it. I think it's a big publicity thing.
Yeah,
but
of course.
If your candidate is so fragile, so fragile, that you're freaking out over Kanye West, you're worried that Kanye West is going to take votes from your candidate. Maybe your candidate's the problem. Maybe the system's the problem. Maybe I don't see, and bringing it back to 2020, and I'll be objective here. I'll be totally fair. I don't see any Bernie supporters deciding on Kanye West. Similarly, I don't see any Andrew Yang supporters going, well, I was going to go with Andrew Yang. I'm going to go Kanye West, though. I don't see it happening. I don't even see Liz Warren supporters diverting to Kanye West. So if Joe Biden is that weak, in your mind, that you're worried people are going to go Kanye West,
God,
maybe the problem is your candidate. Maybe the problem is that we didn't have a fair primary at all. There was election integrity issues state by state by state. It started in Iowa, moved to California, and then a pandemic certainly didn't help the situation. True. And they had all this fake Joe-mentum where everybody just randomly dropped out and got behind him.
Yeah, that was pretty suspicious, sort of like overnight.
Yeah, overnight, he was losing in all the polls. He wasn't even in the top 5 in many cases. Then randomly, all of a sudden, everybody's dropping out, getting behind him. The media fabricates this fake Joe-mentum story.
Yeah, after Carolina. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we get this disastrous Super Tuesday. Joe's the nominee. And this is a guy, nobody laid any gloves on him at all. Bernie included. I was incredibly disappointed with the way Bernie handled everything. And leading up to him dropping out. He should not have dropped out. That was the wrong decision. Yeah. And now we have Joe Biden, and it's like, before all this being the pandemic unfolded, I just thought, okay, well, we're guaranteed. There's no way Biden beats him. We're getting 4 more years of Trump. Now, because of this pandemic, I do think there's a chance that Donald Trump can lose to Donald Trump. Because that's this election. This is not Joe Biden versus Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump versus Donald Trump. And how pathetic is it? How pathetic is it that in a time where you have somebody who declared martial law on his own people, who threatened to shoot American citizens on Twitter, who has mishandled this pandemic in every way imaginable, has fumbled the football constantly, has backtracked on every promise he made, except for the tax break for his rich friends. That's the only thing he came through on. The tax break for his rich friends, which, by the way, the billions in tax break he gave, the 1% of the 1%, that could have funded free college for everybody, by the way. That could have forgiven student loan debt. Instead, he gave it a tax break for his rich friends. How pathetic is it that you're still counting on that guy beating himself because the opposition is so tragically weak and has been either neutral or on the wrong side of pretty much everything for 40 freaking years?
Yeah.
It's,
I don't know, man. The well goes deeper than you think, like every 4 years, man, I swear.
It just gets worse. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's, we've been somehow going backwards. We have been somehow going backwards. We elected Barack Obama, who campaigned on a center-left platform, delivered a right-wing platform, gave us Mitt Romney's healthcare plan, allowed the Bush war machine to go on autopilot, so it got even worse, ran out of bombs, by his own admission said, I'm a moderate Republican. And then after that, we ran somebody to his right. We found somebody to his right, ran that candidate. She managed to find a VP to her right, which had to be hard to do. She pulled it off, though. And then they went on to lose to the candidate that they promoted. They used the Pied Piper strategy to pump Trump up. It failed. I mean, you can't write this stuff. If somebody pitched this as a series, nobody would buy it.
Yeah.
Because they'd be like, this is just too...
It's not believable.
This is, come on, a pandemic, martial law. Everybody freaks out because this rapper who's out of his mind might get in the race. This is insanity.
God.
It's something, huh?
It is, yeah. Insanity, for real. I mean...
So...
It's exhausting.
It's very exhausting.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your